Hello there, and welcome back to the Valerium Stories channel. As we settle in for the night, let's embark on a gentle journey through one of the most fascinating and mysterious landscapes we know, the human brain. This story is crafted for you, the curious adult who isn't a professor but still appreciates the wonders of science. We'll explore 50 incredible facts about our minds, presented in a light, entertaining, and relaxing way. So, find a comfortable position, let your eyes grow heavy, and let's begin our exploration of the 3-pound universe that resides within each of us. Tonight we'll unravel the secrets of our thoughts, dreams, and memories, all while drifting towards a peaceful slumber. This narrative is designed to be a soothing balm for the mind, a gentle guide into the world of neuroscience that is both accessible and captivating. We'll weave together the threads of biology, psychology, and personal experience to create a tapestry of understanding about the organ that makes us who we are. As we delve into the intricacies of the brain, we'll discover how it shapes our perception of reality, governs our emotions, and holds the key to our very consciousness. This is not just a list of facts, but a story of discovery, a journey into the self, told in a way that will leave you feeling both enlightened and serene. Our intention tonight is simple: to create a space of calm and wonder. We will meander through the intricate pathways of the brain, not with the urgency of a lecture, but with the gentle pace of a bedtime story. Each fact will be a stepping stone, leading us deeper into a state of relaxation and awe. We will avoid overly technical jargon, opting instead for a conversational and engaging tone that will make the complexities of the brain feel approachable and even magical. This journey is for you, a moment of quiet reflection and learning before you surrender to the restorative power of sleep. As we navigate the neural landscapes, we'll encounter stories of resilience, adaptability, and the sheer brilliance of our biological design. We'll learn how our brains are constantly changing, adapting, and rewiring themselves in response to our experiences, a testament to the incredible power of neuroplasticity. This story is an invitation to marvel at the intricate dance of neurons and synapses that underpins every thought, feeling, and action. It's a celebration of the human mind, a reminder of its vast potential and its profound connection to our overall well-being. So as we begin, let go of the day's worries and open your mind to the wonders that await. Let this be a journey of self-discovery, a gentle exploration of the most complex and beautiful organ in the known universe. The human brain is, without a doubt, the most complex organ in our body. It's a universe of its own, an intricate network of over 100 billion nerve cells or neurons, each one a tiny marvel of biological engineering. These neurons are not static. They are constantly communicating with each other through a symphony of electrical and chemical signals, creating the rich tapestry of our thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Protected by the sturdy fortress of our skull, the brain is a soft, delicate organ, weighing in at an average of 3 pounds. Yet despite its relatively small size, it consumes a staggering 20% of our body's total energy, a testament to the immense work it performs every second of every day. This energy is used to power a vast array of functions, from the automatic beating of our hearts to the complex calculations we perform when solving a problem. The brain is not just a biological computer. It's a dynamic, ever-changing organ that is shaped by our experiences, our learning, and even our thoughts. It's the seat of our consciousness, the source of our creativity, and the repository of our memories. It's the organ that allows us to love, to dream, and to contemplate our own existence. In the following sections, we'll delve deeper into the many facets of this remarkable organ, exploring its structure, its functions, and the countless mysteries that still surround it. The average adult human brain weighs about 3 pounds, a surprisingly small weight for an organ that holds the key to our entire existence. This 3-pound universe is a complex and delicate structure composed of approximately 75% water. This high water content is crucial for its function, as it provides the medium for the countless chemical reactions that take place within it every second. In fact, if we were to become dehydrated by just 2%, we could experience a noticeable decline in our cognitive abilities, including a loss of attention, memory, and other essential skills. The brain is also incredibly fatty, with about 60% of its dry weight being made up of fat. This fatty composition is essential for the proper functioning of our neurons, as it helps to insulate them and speed up the transmission of electrical signals. The brain's texture is often described as being similar to that of soft tofu or gelatin, which is why it needs such robust protection. Despite its soft and seemingly fragile nature, the brain is a powerhouse of activity, consuming a disproportionate amount of our body's resources. It's a testament to the incredible efficiency of biological design that such a small and delicate organ can be responsible for the entirety of our conscious experience. Our brain is encased within the skull, a bony structure that serves as its primary line of defense against physical trauma. The skull is a marvel of engineering, designed to be both strong and lightweight. It's composed of several bones that are fused together, creating a rigid and protective helmet for our most vital organ. The inner surface of the skull is lined with a tough, fibrous membrane called the dura mater, which provides an additional layer of protection. Between the brain and the skull, there is a cushioning layer of cerebrospinal fluid, which acts as a shock absorber, protecting the brain from impacts and jolts. This fluid-filled space also helps to keep the brain afloat, preventing it from pressing against the skull and causing damage. The skull is not just a passive container, it's an active participant in the protection of the brain. The bones of the skull are constantly remodeling themselves in response to the forces they experience, ensuring that they remain strong and resilient. The skull also plays a role in regulating the temperature of the brain, helping to keep it cool and functioning optimally. It's a remarkable example of the body's ability to protect its most precious assets, a testament to the importance of the brain to our survival and well-being. Despite making up only about 2% of our body's total weight, the brain is a voracious consumer of energy, using up to 20% of the body's total supply. This energy is primarily in the form of glucose, a simple sugar that is the brain's preferred fuel source. The brain's high energy consumption is a reflection of the immense amount of work it does. Every thought, every movement, every sensation requires a complex series of electrical and chemical reactions, all of which require energy. The brain's energy consumption is not constant. It varies depending on our level of activity. When we are engaged in a challenging mental task, such as solving a complex problem or learning a new skill, the brain's energy consumption can increase significantly. This is why we often feel mentally fatigued after a long day of intense intellectual work, The brain's energy supply is delivered through a vast network of blood vessels, which are so extensive that if they were laid out end to end, they would stretch for over 150,000 miles. This intricate network ensures that every part of the brain receives a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients, allowing it to function at its peak. The brain's high energy consumption is a testament to its incredible complexity and its central role in our lives. The human brain is divided into two halves, or hemispheres, each with its own specialized functions. The left hemisphere is often referred to as the logical or analytical side of the brain. It's primarily responsible for language, both spoken and written, as well as logical reasoning, mathematical abilities, and sequential processing. For most people, the left hemisphere is the dominant hemisphere for language. This means that it plays a more significant role in the production and comprehension of speech. The left hemisphere is also involved in the control of the right side of the body. This is because the nerve fibers that connect the brain to the body cross over at the brainstem, so the left hemisphere controls the right side of the body and vice versa. The left hemisphere is often described as being more detail-oriented than the right hemisphere, focusing on the individual parts of a whole rather than the overall picture. It's the hemisphere that we rely on when we need to solve a problem step by step, follow a set of instructions, or analyze a complex piece of information. While the left hemisphere is often associated with logic and reason, it's important to remember that it's just one half of a much larger and more complex system. In contrast to the left hemisphere, the right hemisphere is often described as the creative or intuitive side of the brain. It's primarily responsible for spatial abilities, such as recognizing faces and navigating our environment, as well as for processing music, art, and other forms of creative expression. The right hemisphere is also involved in the processing of emotions and in the interpretation of nonverbal cues, such as body language and facial expressions. It's the hemisphere that we rely on when we need to see the big picture, to make connections between seemingly unrelated ideas, or to trust our gut instincts. The right hemisphere is often described as being more holistic than the left hemisphere, focusing on the overall pattern rather than the individual details. It's the hemisphere that we use when we are daydreaming, imagining, or simply appreciating the beauty of the world around us. While the right hemisphere is often associated with creativity and intuition, it's important to remember that it's not the only source of these abilities. The two hemispheres of the brain work together in a complex and dynamic dance, each one contributing its own unique strengths to our overall cognitive experience. The two hemispheres of the brain are not isolated from each other. They are connected by a thick band of nerve fibers called the corpus callosum. This structure acts as a bridge, allowing the two hemispheres to communicate and share information with each other. The corpus callosum is one of the largest structures in the brain, containing over 200 million nerve fibers. These fibers transmit information back and forth between the two hemispheres, allowing them to work together in a coordinated and integrated way. For example, when we are reading, the left hemisphere is primarily responsible for decoding the words, while the right hemisphere is involved in understanding the overall meaning of the text. The corpus callosum allows these two processes to be integrated so that we can both read the words and understand what they mean. The corpus callosum is also involved in the coordination of movement, allowing us to perform complex tasks that require the use of both hands. Without the corpus callosum, the two hemispheres of the brain would be unable to communicate, and we would be left with a fragmented and disconnected experience of the world. The human brain is not a static organ. It is constantly changing and developing throughout our lives. The most rapid period of brain development occurs in childhood and adolescence, but the brain continues to mature and change well into our 20s and even our 30s. During childhood, the brain is like a sponge, absorbing new information and experiences at an astonishing rate. This is a time of incredible neuroplasticity when the brain is most receptive to learning and change. As we grow older, the brain's development slows down, but it never stops. We continue to learn new things, form new memories, and adapt to new challenges throughout our lives. The brain's development is not a linear process. It's a complex and dynamic journey that is influenced by a wide range of factors, including our genetics, our environment, and our experiences. The brain's ability to change and adapt is one of its most remarkable features, and it's what allows us to grow and evolve as individuals. As we age, our brains naturally begin to shrink in size. This shrinkage is most pronounced in the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, two regions that are crucial for memory and cognitive function. The loss of brain volume is accompanied by a decline in the number of neurons and a reduction in the number of synapses, the connections between neurons. These changes can lead to a decline in cognitive function, including a slowing of our thinking speed, a decrease in our ability to learn new things, and a greater difficulty with multitasking. However, it's important to note that not all older adults experience significant cognitive decline. Many people are able to maintain their cognitive abilities well into their later years, and some even experience an improvement in certain areas, such as vocabulary and wisdom. The key to maintaining a healthy brain in later life is to stay mentally and physically active, to eat a healthy diet, and to maintain strong social connections. These lifestyle factors can help to protect the brain from age-related damage and to promote the growth of new neurons and synapses. The human brain is an incredibly complex and intricate organ, and its complexity is largely due to the vast number of neurons it contains. It is estimated that the average human brain is composed of over 100 billion neurons, a number that is almost too large to comprehend. To put this in perspective, there are as many neurons in a single human brain as there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Each of these neurons is a specialized cell that is designed to transmit information. They are the building blocks of the brain, the fundamental units of its communication system. The neurons in our brain are not all the same. They come in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, each one specialized for a particular function. Some neurons are long and thin, designed to transmit signals over long distances, while others are short and bushy, designed to make connections with many other neurons. The sheer number of neurons in our brain is a testament to its incredible processing power and its ability to handle the vast amount of information that we encounter every day. Neurons communicate with each other through a complex and elegant system of electrical and chemical signals. When a neuron is stimulated, it generates an electrical impulse, called an action potential, that travels down its length. This electrical signal is incredibly fast, traveling at speeds of up to 100 meters per second, which is the same speed as a Formula One car. When the electrical signal reaches the end of the neuron, it triggers the release of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters, into the space between the neurons, called the synapse. These neurotransmitters then bind to receptors on the next neuron, causing it to either fire its own electrical signal or to be inhibited from firing. This process of electrical and chemical communication is the basis of all brain function, from the simplest reflex to the most complex thought. It's a system that is both incredibly fast and incredibly precise, allowing us to respond to our environment in a fraction of a second. The speed at which information travels through our brain is truly remarkable. As we mentioned earlier, the electrical signals that are generated by our neurons can travel at speeds of up to 100 meters per second. This means that a signal can travel from the tip of our toe to our brain in a fraction of a second, allowing us to react to our environment with incredible speed and precision. The speed of information transfer in our brain is so fast that it's often described as being instantaneous. However, the speed of our thoughts is not just determined by the speed of our neurons. It's also influenced by the number of connections between them. The more connections there are, the more pathways there are for information to travel, and the faster our thoughts can be. This is why learning and experience are so important for our cognitive function. They help to create new connections and to strengthen existing ones, making our brains more efficient and our thoughts more rapid. The neurons in our brain are not connected to each other in a simple linear fashion. They are connected in a vast and intricate network of synapses. It is estimated that there are over 1,000 trillion synapses in the human brain, a number that is truly mind-boggling. This vast network of connections is what gives the brain its incredible processing power and its ability to learn and adapt. Each synapse is a tiny gap between two neurons, and it's at these gaps that information is transmitted from one neuron to the next. The number of synapses in our brain is not fixed. It's constantly changing in response to our experiences. When we learn something new, we create new synapses. When we practice a skill, we strengthen existing synapses. This process of synaptic change is the basis of our ability to learn and to remember. The strength of the connections between our neurons is not fixed. It's constantly changing in response to our experiences. This process, known as synaptic plasticity, is the basis of our ability to learn and to remember. When we use a particular neural pathway, the synapses along that pathway become stronger and more efficient. This is often described by the phrase neurons that fire together, wire together. Conversely, when we don't use a particular neural pathway, the synapses along that pathway become weaker and may eventually be eliminated. This process, known as synaptic pruning, is essential for the efficient functioning of the brain. It's what allows us to focus on the information that is most relevant to us and to discard the information that is not. The ability of our synapses to strengthen and weaken is a testament to the incredible adaptability of our brains. Neurotransmitters are the chemical messengers that are released by our neurons to transmit signals across the synapse. There are over 100 different types of neurotransmitters in the brain, each one with its own unique function. Some neurotransmitters, such as dopamine and serotonin, are involved in the regulation of our mood and emotions. Others, such as acetylcholine and glutamate, are involved in learning and memory. The balance of neurotransmitters in our brain is crucial for our mental and physical health. An imbalance of neurotransmitters can lead to a wide range of neurological and psychiatric disorders, including depression, anxiety, and schizophrenia. The study of neurotransmitters is a rapidly growing field of neuroscience, and it's leading to the development of new and more effective treatments for a wide range of brain disorders. One of the most remarkable features of the human brain is its ability to change and adapt in response to new experiences. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, is what allows us to learn new things, to form new memories, and to recover from brain injuries. Neuroplasticity is not just a feature of the developing brain, it's a lifelong process that continues throughout our lives. When we learn a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument or speaking a new language, our brains physically change. New neural pathways are created, and existing ones are strengthened. This is why practice is so important for learning. It helps to reinforce the neural pathways that are involved in a particular skill. The brain's ability to rewire itself is a testament to its incredible resilience and its potential for growth. Neuroplasticity is also what allows the brain to compensate for injury or loss. When a part of the brain is damaged, other parts of the brain can often take over its function. This is why some people are able to recover from strokes and other brain injuries, even when the damage is severe. The brain's ability to compensate for injury is not unlimited, but it's a powerful reminder of the brain's incredible capacity for healing and adaptation. The study of neuroplasticity is leading to the development of new and more effective rehabilitation therapies for people with brain injuries. These therapies are designed to help the brain to rewire itself and to regain lost function. The rise of technology has had a profound impact on our brains, and not always in a positive way. The widespread use of GPS, for example, has been shown to have a negative impact on our natural navigation skills. When we rely on GPS to get around, we are not using the parts of our brain that are involved in spatial navigation, such as the hippocampus. This can lead to a decline in our ability to form mental maps of our environment and to navigate without the help of technology. This is a clear example of how our brains can be shaped by our experiences and how the overuse of technology can lead to a decline in certain cognitive abilities. It's a reminder that we need to be mindful of how we use technology and to make sure that we are still challenging our brains in a variety of ways. The narrative now takes the listener on a tour of the brain's key regions, starting with the cerebral cortex. The story explains that the cortex is the outermost layer of the brain and is responsible for consciousness, perception, and voluntary movement. This is described as the part of the brain that allows us to be aware of ourselves and the world around us. The explanation is kept simple and accessible, avoiding any complex anatomical details. The tone is one of quiet reverence, encouraging the listener to appreciate the incredible complexity of their own conscious experience. The story then introduces the concept of the homunculus, a map of the body that exists within the brain. The narrative might describe how this map is not a simple one-to-one representation, but is distorted with some body parts, like the hands and lips, taking up a disproportionately large amount of space. This is a fascinating and often surprising fact that helps to illustrate the brain's specialized organization. The tone is one of gentle curiosity, encouraging the listener to marvel at the intricate and often quirky ways in which the brain represents the body. The narrative then moves to the back of the brain, to the cerebellum. The story explains that the cerebellum is responsible for motor coordination, balance, and posture. This is described as the part of the brain that allows us to move with grace and precision. The explanation might be accompanied by a gentle suggestion to become aware of one's own body and the subtle movements that are constantly being coordinated by the cerebellum. The tone is one of quiet appreciation for the brain's incredible ability to control and coordinate our physical actions. The story then descends to the brainstem, the part of the brain that connects to the spinal cord. The narrative explains that the brainstem is responsible for regulating basic life functions, such as breathing and heart rate. This is presented as the brain's control center, the part that keeps us alive without our even having to think about it. The tone is one of quiet gratitude for the brain's automatic and life-sustaining functions. This section helps the listener to appreciate the brain's role as the body's ultimate guardian. The narrative then explores the brainstem's role in regulating the transitions between wake and sleep. The story explains that the brainstem contains cells that produce a chemical called GABA, which helps to promote sleep by reducing activity in other parts of the brain. This is a key part of the brain's sleep-wake cycle, and the narrative presents it as a crucial process for our well-being. The tone is one of quiet fascination, encouraging the listener to appreciate the intricate mechanisms that govern their own sleep. The story now turns to the limbic system, a group of structures deep within the brain that are involved in emotion and memory. The narrative first focuses on the hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure that is crucial for memory formation and retrieval. This is described as the brain's memory hub, the place where our experiences are stored and recalled. The tone is one of quiet wonder, encouraging the listener to contemplate the incredible capacity of their own memory. The story then introduces the hypothalamus, a peanut-sized structure that is responsible for regulating a wide range of bodily functions, including hunger, thirst, and body temperature. This is described as the brain's regulator, the part that helps to maintain a state of balance and harmony within the body. The tone is one of quiet appreciation for the brain's incredible ability to keep our internal systems running smoothly. The narrative now shifts its focus to the sleeping brain. The story explains that the thalamus, a structure that acts as a relay station for sensory information, plays a key role in sleep. During most stages of sleep, the thalamus becomes quiet, allowing us to tune out the external world. However, during REM sleep, the thalamus becomes active again, sending the cortex the images, sounds, and sensations that fill our dreams. The tone is one of quiet fascination, encouraging the listener to appreciate the intricate mechanisms that create their dream world. The story then introduces the pineal gland, a small gland that produces the hormone melatonin. The narrative explains that melatonin helps to regulate our sleep-wake cycle, making us feel sleepy when it gets dark. This is presented as a key part of the brain's natural rhythm, helping us to stay in sync with the cycle of day and night. The tone is one of quiet appreciation for the brain's natural wisdom. The narrative then explores the mystery of dreams. The story explains that the amygdala, the brain's fear center, is highly active during REM sleep, which can help to explain the intense emotions that we sometimes experience in our dreams. This is presented as a normal and natural part of the dreaming process. The tone is one of gentle understanding, encouraging the listener to see their dreams as a way for their brain to process emotions. The story then addresses the common experience of forgetting our dreams. The narrative explains that this is a normal part of the sleep process, and that within minutes of waking up, we have already forgotten a significant portion of our dreams. This is presented as a fascinating quirk of the brain's memory system. The tone is one of quiet curiosity, encouraging the listener to appreciate the ephemeral and mysterious nature of their dream world. The narrative then explains the phenomenon of sleep paralysis, the state in which our bodies are temporarily paralyzed during REM sleep. The story explains us this is a protective mechanism that prevents us from acting out our dreams. This is presented as a crucial safety feature of the brain's sleep system. The tone is one of quiet reassurance, helping the listener to understand this sometimes unsettling experience. The story then turns to the negative effects of sleep deprivation. The narrative explains that a lack of sleep can have a detrimental impact on cognitive function and mood. This is presented as a gentle reminder of the importance of getting enough rest. The tone is one of quiet concern, encouraging the listener to prioritize their sleep for the sake of their own well-being. The narrative then introduces the fascinating phenomenon of the brain's half-awake state when we sleep in a new environment. The story explains that this is a protective mechanism, a remnant of our evolutionary past when sleeping in a new place could be dangerous. This is presented as a testament to the brain's constant vigilance. The tone is one of quiet fascination, encouraging the listener to appreciate the brain's ancient and deeply ingrained survival instincts. The narrative now explores the mechanisms of learning and memory. The story explains the difference between short-term memory, which lasts for only a few seconds, and long-term memory, which can last a lifetime. This is presented as a fundamental aspect of how we process and store information. The tone is one of quiet curiosity, encouraging the listener to contemplate the incredible complexity of their own memory system. The story then explains how memories are strengthened through a process called consolidation. The narrative explains that every time we recall a memory, we strengthen the neural pathways that represent it. This is presented as a powerful tool for learning and remembering. The tone is one of gentle encouragement, suggesting that we can actively shape our own memories through the act of recollection. The narrative then explores the powerful role that emotion plays in memory formation. The story explains that emotionally charged experiences are more likely to be remembered than neutral ones. This is presented as a key survival mechanism, helping us to remember important events and avoid future dangers. The tone is one of quiet understanding, encouraging the listener to appreciate the deep connection between their emotions and their memories. The story now turns to the brain's interpretation of the world around us. The narrative explains that the brain is constantly processing a vast amount of sensory information, from the sights and sounds of our environment to the physical sensations in our own bodies. This is presented as an incredible feat of processing power. The tone is one of quiet awe, encouraging the listener to appreciate the brain's ability to make sense of the world. The narrative then explores the unique connection between smell and memory. The story explains that our sense of smell is the only sense that is directly linked to the limbic system, the part of the brain that is involved in emotion and memory. This is presented as the reason why certain smells can trigger such powerful and vivid memories. The tone is one of quiet nostalgia, encouraging the listener to reflect on their own scent-based memories. The story then addresses the brain's perception of pain. The narrative explains that the brain itself cannot feel pain, as it has no pain receptors. This is a surprising and often misunderstood fact. The tone is one of quiet fascination, encouraging the listener to appreciate the brain's complex and often counterintuitive nature. The narrative then delves into some of the brain's more quirky and fascinating phenomena. The story might explore the mystery of the color magenta, which is not a real color in the spectrum, but is instead a creation of our own brains. This is presented as a testament to the brain's incredible ability to construct our reality. The tone is one of playful curiosity, encouraging the listener to marvel at the brain's creative powers. The story then introduces the phenomenon of phantom limb sensations, the experience of feeling pain or other sensations in a limb that has been amputated. This is presented as a powerful example of the brain's body map and its ability to create vivid sensations. The tone is one of quiet empathy, helping the listener to understand this often distressing experience. The narrative then ends on a lighter note, with the phenomenon of brain freeze. The story explains that this is caused by the rapid constriction and dilation of blood vessels in the head in response to something cold. This is presented as a humorous and relatable example of the brain's sensitivity. The tone is one of gentle amusement, leaving the listener with a smile on their face. The narrative now explores the brain's emotional landscape, starting with its reward system. The story explains that the brain releases a neurotransmitter called dopamine in response to pleasurable experiences. This is presented as the brain's way of rewarding us for doing things that are good for our survival. However, the narrative also explains that this system can be hijacked by addictive substances, leading to a cycle of compulsive behavior. The tone is one of quiet caution, encouraging the listener to be mindful of the choices they make. The story then introduces oxytocin, a hormone that is released during social bonding and intimate moments. This is presented as the brain's love hormone, the chemical that helps us to form deep and meaningful connections with others. The tone is one of gentle warmth, encouraging the listener to appreciate the brain's role in fostering love and connection. The narrative then turns to the brain's response to stress. The story explains that while a little bit of stress can be beneficial, chronic stress can have a detrimental impact on brain structure and function. This is presented as a gentle reminder to manage stress in our lives. The tone is one of quiet concern, encouraging the listener to prioritize their own mental and emotional well-being. The story then explores the brain's response to trauma and how this can lead to the development of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. This is presented as a serious and often debilitating condition, but one that can be treated. The tone is one of quiet empathy and hope, encouraging those who are struggling to seek help. The narrative then addresses the brain's role in mental health. The story explains that there are often structural and functional differences in the brains of individuals with mental health disorders, such as depression and anxiety. This is presented as a way of destigmatizing mental illness, helping the listener to understand that these are real and treatable medical conditions. The tone is one of quiet compassion and understanding. The story then explores the differences in brain connectivity that are observed in individuals with autism and ADHD. This is presented as a way of understanding the unique ways in which these individuals experience the world. The tone is one of quiet acceptance and celebration of neurodiversity. The narrative now explores the brain's unique adaptations in response to specific experiences. The story explains that the brains of musicians have greater connectivity between the auditory and motor regions. This is presented as a testament to the brain's incredible ability to change and adapt in response to training and practice. The tone is one of quiet inspiration, encouraging the listener to pursue their own creative passions. The story then explains that the brains of bilingual individuals have increased cognitive flexibility and problem-solving ability. This is presented as a powerful benefit of learning a second language. The tone is one of quiet encouragement, suggesting that it is never too late to learn something new. The narrative then explores the brains of meditation practitioners. The story explains how their brains show increased activity in areas associated with attention and emotional regulation. This is presented as a powerful benefit of a regular meditation practice. The tone is one of quiet invitation, encouraging the listener to explore the practice of mindfulness for themselves. The story then returns to the example of London taxi drivers, explaining that they have been shown to have an enlarged hippocampus, the part of the brain that is responsible for memory. This is presented as a powerful example of how our experiences can literally change the structure of our brains. The tone is one of quiet amazement, encouraging the listener to consider how their own experiences might be shaping their own minds. The narrative now draws to a close, with a final reflection on the brain. The story emphasizes that our understanding of the brain is constantly evolving and that there is still so much that we have yet to discover. This is presented as an exciting and ongoing journey of exploration. The tone is one of quiet wonder and anticipation for the future of brain research. The story ends with a gentle farewell, wishing the listener a peaceful and restful night's sleep. The tone is one of warmth and care, leaving the listener with a sense of calm and well-being. The final words are a gentle invitation to drift off to sleep, with the knowledge of their own remarkable brain as a final, comforting thought. Good night,